What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hutch Coming in Clutch. I'm your host, Hutchinson Brown, and today we've got a fantastic show. You can see, if you're watching on YouTube, we've got three special guests with us. We've got the No Punt Intended crew over from Club Fantasy FFL joining us for the episode today. Last week, we had on Andrew Erickson from Fantasy Pros, and this week we have another set of very, very special guests. And today we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about putting together the perfect home league draft party and putting together the perfect home league. Obviously, it's July and we're approaching August. We're starting to get there. So fantasy football season is fully here. I don't know how you guys have been doing it. I've been already texting my home league, starting to try to organize a draft day, getting things going. If you're a fantasy football commission out there, you know how it feels. Trying to get everybody organized for a draft day, trying to get a party set up, trying to get the date set up, everything you need to get forward to. And today, we're going to be talking about putting together the perfect plan, how to run your home league. And so by the end of this episode, you're going to know what you need to do. So that's basically what this is going to be about. We're going to have some fun today. So let's just jump straight into topic one. I want to throw this to Ryan first. We each have some answers for each topic. We're going to go through topic by topic for the show. Topic one for Ryan, we're talking about league scoring and settings. What are some of your favorite league scoring / settings to put in your home league, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm the elder statesman certainly of this group. I'm pretty sure my home league is close to being older than Hutch. So that league we thankfully never went not standard, which Joe's going to mention shortly. But we've always been a PPR league. But we started off kind of boring, like 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, flex spot. We've done team defense, but the big thing for us was adding just some IDP spots. And I talk about this on a lot of different episodes, but adding IDP, even if it's just one flex spot for people to get more used to it. We haven't gotten rid of team defense. As someone who writes about team defense, I'm never for getting rid of team defense. I've been trying to talk the league into, now that you've done one, can we at least do 1 defensive lineman, 1 linebacker, 1 DB? And they won't do that. But just more points, getting people more involved, especially if it's a slightly above casual league where these people know defensive players. I think adding in an IDP spot is really good. And I don't know, do you want me to go into the bad now as well? Because you said, is there anything I really liked or anything I didn't like?
Yeah, absolutely. Just jump right, go for it.
So again, this league has been around for going on 20 years now. And when we set the league up, we did not know what we were doing. And what I'm going to say to you is going to sound mind-boggling to some people. But for the first 10 years of this league, maybe 15, we did not have waivers. We did not have fab. The only time a player was on waivers is if they got cut from another team. It was first come, first serve all the time. And that got wild on Sundays because when a player got hurt, I used to call it fastest fingers. Everybody went to the app and seen who could grab the backup as quickly as possible. And for years, my league fought me on getting rid of this. And it was just such a hassle. If you're in one league and one league only, sure, I guess. But now that the world is playing in multiple fantasy leagues, and even and for us, we just got older. We started this league when we were in our early 20s, and now we're all in our early 40s, and it just wasn't fun racing to waivers to get your backup running back and not being able to give yourself that Monday and Tuesday to decompress and figure out who you wanted. So add as many positions as your league will allow. But when it comes to waivers, let's make sure we're not just having fastest fingers and first come, first serve all the time.
Yeah, I completely agree with that one. That's something I wrote down. Joe, throw it to you. Ryan already hinted at what you're going to talk about. Joe, what do you got for us?
Stop playing standard. It's the dumbest settings ever known to mankind. You're just not going to reward people for being good. Okay, cool. Do you like your scoring to be 60 to 55 going into Monday Night Football? No, that's boring. That's so boring. Here's the blanket statement, because this, I know Josh supports this. The tight end 1 in standard would have been the kicker 11. There's 10 better kickers than the tight end 1 in standard. So if you're going to take kickers out, you might as well take tight ends out in that same sentence.
To Joe's point too, I play in still one standard league. Quarterbacks score so many more points than anybody else.
Position.
The whole game hinges on your quarterback.
Yeah. So the quarterback's the first round pick.
Super flex league.
Yeah.
Super flex standard, respectfully die. Just respectfully. What are you doing? You're gonna add super flex, but you're still gonna make it standard. Do you hate
Yeah.
your league mates? Like, God, that's hell. That's actual hell.
I completely agree. The standard is, standard's rough.
Satan himself came up with Superflex standard. I'd like to meet one person that did that. Oh, horrible.
Wait. I have a question for you though, Joe. I liked your comment of, you don't want to reward good players. Like you obviously got to reward good players for getting the ball. What do you think about points per carry? Like a small addition, like
Stupid.
you don't like it?
No, because you're handing the ball off. What's the skill there?
Okay. Well, they're earning a touch.
Touch. I could turn around and hand you the football. There's no skill in that.
But you're earning a touch. You're getting a play drawn up.
No, you're not earning a touch. You're 3 yards from your quarterback. That's all it is.
The coach called the play for you.
How's that any different than like a 2-yard screen pass? Like,
yeah, exactly.
The screen pass has to travel.
Or like
a
a shovel pass that counts as a reception. Like,
yeah,
that's why a carry's worth 0.25 and not like one whole point.
I hate shovel passes. Let's get that out of the way. I hate shovel passes. Anytime my receiver gets it and I get the extra point, I'm elated. That's the dumbest PPR point on planet Earth. I think I like some leagues reward for the first down. I like that. That takes skill.
Yeah.
You have to get the first down.
Yes.
It takes skill to catch the football. It takes no skill to adjust your hands the correct direction, whichever way you're running the football. That's just, it doesnesn't make sense to me. If you're running right hand on top.
Well, if you don't know your left from right, it does take some skill.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you're dyslexic,
There's obviously some problems for Joe just now.
Well, I don't play running back professionally and get paid millions of dollars. I was a quarterback, and a receiver, skill positions.
All right, Joshua, give me. Got you, Joshua. Give me your favorite or least favorite scoring settings.
My biggest favorite is scoring bonuses. I want any and all bonuses, big plays, 40 yards, 50 yards, 100-yard games, 200-yard games, 300-yard passing games, 400-yard passing games. Any reason I can add more points, it's going to make fantasy so much better for newcomers. It's the same reason why people love the home run in baseball. The same reason why we love breakaway dunks in basketball. It gets the people going. Scoring in fantasy is what we love to see. Like Joe said, we don't want to see a 60 to 55 game heading into Monday night. But if you see a 255 to 285 matchup, now you're hyped and you are tuned in because you want to know what's up.
Yeah.
So I'm all about
Cal Raleigh is scoring bonuses. Jazz Chisholm is standard. There you go.
There you go.
If you watch, I say that because Josh is a Yankees fan, and Jazz Chisholm looked like
the moment they announced him for the home run derby, I let out a chuckle. I was like, dude, it's not a home run hitter.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize we put Pseudo Wudo as a freaking home run derby contestant. Like, okay, sure.
That was funny. Yeah. But another one that I have that I didn't actually mention, try an auction league because they're awesome.
Man.
They're a lot of fun. You get into this competitive like bidding spirit of like, I got to get my guy and I don't care what the price is. And then you figure out, oh shit, maybe I do kind of care what the price is because I got to build out the rest of my team.
Dude, I remember, oh my gosh, I don't remember who the player was, but it was like a sleeper that should have gone for like $1. And they got bid up in the middle of an auction draft. It was in the Kings Classics at the Expo. I remember watching this bidding war. It was like Adam Thielen on the Panthers or something like so small where it's like such a random sleeper that no one should care about that a couple people did. He went for like 20 of $200 and he should have went for 1 or 2. And it was so funny. We were all just laughing at these two people bidding war for this player. It was and
I've seen it because like you get
it's so fun.
You get to a point where you're waiting on certain things. Yeah. Like you see some of the guys go up, like you start maybe throwing out bids, but then it gets a little bit out of your price range and you're like, all right, cool, whatever. And then it's like the last viable starting running back. And you're like, all right, well, I just got to go all in, even though that's not what I would normally do. Like I wouldn't take this guy in the 3rd round, but I'm going to pay 2nd round prices to get him because there's nobody else. So like you find yourself in those situations and it's really fun just to kind of see how that goes. But if you're ever going to consider doing an auction, 1,000% do it offline, do it at home with your homies. It is so much more fun that way. So much more fun.
I've never done a live auction, but one thing auction also does is it really gets you in tune with tiers because of what Josh just said. you need to know who the last viable guy is because you need to make sure you have the money to get him if everything else goes wrong.
And it's just like you get to play it your own way. If you're at the 109, you're not getting one of the top 2 players. You're not getting Jahmyr Gibbs most likely. If you're at 109, you're not getting Bijan Robinson. But if you're in an auction draft, you play however you want. You can spend like 80% of your fab on your first 2 players. You can do that, and you can build it that way.
I did a baseball auction this year, and right away I earmarked Aaron Judge as a guy that I did not care how much I was going to spend. My finger was just on the bid one more dollar. And anytime someone bid me up, I was bidding another $1. I was walking out of this draft with Aaron Judge.
My favorite thing at the live drafts, speaking of like bidding $1 more, every time I would put up a player for auction, because you take turns putting up people at the live auction drafts in the Kings Classic, which is a lot of analysts and they're all professionals. I put every player, it doesn't matter if it's Christian McCaffrey or or whoever. I said, he said, how much do you start? I said, start at $1. Because I might get him. I might get him for $1. And everyone just hated me. And I was like, I don't care. I'm putting up for $1. And someone would bid like 50 then, and it would start over there. But it was funny. But I'll throw in lastly for the league scoring. Like a lot of you guys mentioned the ones I wrote down, but a lot of things I like deep starting rosters, like 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, 3 flex. Like get a lot of starting players in there. It is really, really fun to watch people scramble with the last bench player on the roster and be like, oh, I have to start you, I guess. Like I remember seeing in my home leagues, people were starting Jalen Reagor in some leagues, and it was just like so fun because you're scrambling every week. I think it's really, really fun for that. Yes. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's fun. Because what I hate is to see like someone that I would consider like probably an RB2 or wide receiver 2, like a regular starter on your bench. I hate to see regular starters on the bench.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
Jalen Reagor in a starting lineup isn't fun
because there were injuries and there were things going on, and this roster was just cooked, and you had to play Jalen Reagor.
I like that concept if you're playing in like an 8-team league. Like if you're playing in an 8-team league,
12, 14, like, 3 receiver, 2 flex. Yeah, go. Let's go.
Right? Like,
no, you're
if you're in a 12-team league, I think like starting 10 is a good like middle ground. I think when you get to that start 11, because I play in some 12-team dynasty leagues where you're starting 11.
It's rough.
And even in a dynasty league, you're just like, this person should not even be on my roster, let alone on my starting lineup. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm concerned for this person who had Jalen Reagor in their lineup. I feel like there's better people.
I think this is in his rookie year when
I was going to say, hopefully it was
hope for him. Yeah,
I do like what Josh said, though, that what I would add to what Hutch said. Josh, you said, I don't even know if this person should be in my roster. On those leagues, Hutch, I also like to have short benches because then, like on bye weeks, you got people who have to make wild cuts. Yeah, I mean, so my home league is a 14-team league with only 5 bench spots, and so people are making decisions all the time and cycling players, and it makes the waivers fun throughout the season as well.
All right, so let's move on here to topic 2. I want to put Joe on the spot because I heard pre-recording we have a story. Topic 2 is last place punishment, and I don't care about it. I want to hear Joe's story. Joe, please tell us your story. I know you don't want to, but I don't care. I'm putting you on the spot.
Am I still in that league? That's the question.
The video is literally on the Club Fantasy YouTube page. I'm just saying.
For real? I'm fine.
He did it. He did it for us.
Send me the link, bro.
What was that? Was that my that was my CD's nuts team. My team names are the Mayflower, Morning Woodhead, shout out Danny, and CD's nuts. My other one in the league called the Vinegar Strokes is Pete Top, Kevin Bottom, shout out the league. So I am well, first off, let me reactivate this league because I haven't done that yet, and I'm the commissioner. But I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell you I believe it was in 2021, right? Because I had done that. Yeah. Oh god, that was a horrible year. Let me go to the draft. Let me go to the draft recap.
Oh no.
For you. Yep, here it is. Oh wow, this is horrible. I hate myself. Okay. So this is 2021, folks. I want that to be set in stone right now.
Yes, 2021 mindset here.
So, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can swear, so I'm just gonna flip the bird.
Where are you? We're not. I'm gonna have to censor what you just did for the people.
Okay, fine.
I'll censor you. Yeah.
That's fine.
So
Alvin
he does
Kamara.
it again.
Yeah, he does it again.
No.
He did the other fingers. He did the wrong, different fingers.
Alvin Kamara. Nope. If you watch our show, I despise Alvin. I like him now, because he can't hurt me in the first round. But I took him at pick 3. David Montgomery. He was fine.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad. It was okay. James Robinson. Yuck.
Oops.
Disgusting.
Ooh.
Chris Godwin, injured. Deontay
Oh.
Johnson, another bird. Cortland Sutton, down
Wait,
year.
wait.
Devontae Williams, go kill yourself. Tom Brady. The only time I ever taken Tom Brady. The only time. It didn't work out. It was not good. Debo was actually my only good player that year.
Yeah,
that was really my only
that
good
was the
player.
big carries year.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith. What are we doing? Kobe Myers. Devontae Parker? What? Sterling Shepard? What is this team? So it was bad. Brian
Joe.
Edwards, shout out.
Brian Edwards. R.I.P.
Yeah, Brian
The
Edwards.
best player on my team was Younghoe Koo. That was the best player
Yes.
on my team. So anyways, it got really bad.
That's brutal.
The first year we really implement the implement the rule. Before is like
Yeah.
my buddy took he took a shot of like ghost pepper hot sauce, which was hilarious.
Okay. Yeah.
We did something else too one year. But mine was I went to a Perkins and every pancake I ate was an hour off my time. So it was a Waffle House punishment.
Yes,
it was,
dude.
I'm like, it was in Bismarck, North Dakota of all places. So it made it even worse. It wasn't fun. It's a good little punishment. It wasn't fun. I've seen some good ones. Like one guy has to travel across the country in 2 days, on like 7 different flights.
Wow.
It's actually
That's
hilarious.
good.
It was
Yeah, I
pretty
saw
funny.
that one. Was a recent
That was pretty funny. I mean, Josh and Ryan kind of say it. No one really buys into it as a thing. So that's a tough thing. Is you got to get one that people are going to buy into and be okay with.
Yeah.
I was a commissioner. I wanted to be like, hey guys, if we're going to give punishments, we have to do it. So like I did it because I had to set the
Yeah,
precedent
that's
there.
everybody. So hold on, I just want to recap real quick because some people, if you don't know what the Waffle House challenge is, where you have to go to Waffle House and you're sitting there for 24 hours, every waffle you eat is an hour off your time. So if you eat 12 waffles, you're staying there for 12 hours.
Get kids
Joe.
waffles. That's the hack.
Wow. Oh, Joe, how many waffles did you eat though? So how much time were you?
18.
Oh, okay. You were only there for 6 hours. I mean, that's still pretty bad.
Do you think I was staying there longer than that? I was in the Perkins dying. I was in the Perkins Cafe dying.
I
saw one challenge. I can't remember who. It's a Twitter account, and he does this every year where he actually chronicles the last place Punisher in his league. Basically the punishment is they have to go to a bar that opens at like 7 a.m. and for every drink they shave off I think it's like 30 minutes or an hour of their time, and every shot knocks off like 2 hours or something. So, but it's basically a variation of the Waffle House challenge.
That's a terrible idea.
If it's shots and it's taking 2 hours, I think I might just suck it up.
So
that's nasty.
Order some French fries to soak it up. Like what?
Joe, you don't drink. You'd be
I don't
floored
drink.
after the 4th shot.
Give me the
I
fruitiest thing on
drink
planet
and
Earth.
shots don't. I'm not a shots guy at
Ryan,
all.
you're 80.
Oh, I love shots.
Of course they don't.
Ryan,
I love it. But there's only so many, in theory, realistically, that you can do within a certain time frame before it all catches up to you.
Exactly, and you die.
Maybe not die, but
as a person who's never, I mean, I drank in England, but that was or in Europe because I was,
It's fine. This
I'm
is a
18.
safe space.
I know. Well, it's not. I'm being
No,
posted
it's not.
publicly.
This is a very public space.
I have not drunk ever. That was not legal. But
I love it.
I would not be able to handle a shot. That would be terrible.
So we tried to implement one, and I'll try to keep this as PG as I can for the crew.
Thank you.
But we bought a keychain.
Oh boy.
Of nuts, and it said I suck at fantasy football. And the very first guy, the first time he got made fun of at work, tore it off and threw it in the trash. My league was just not a league punishment league. They just were not cool with it.
Did it say I suck nuts on it? Is that
No,
what...
it just said I suck at fantasy football, but
well, you missed an opportunity.
It was bronzed. I mean, it was kind of like Amazon. It's not like I didn't weld them.
Be better. I don't know.
Dude, I saw, to wrap up real quick before we move on to the next topic, I saw one online where someone got put on a college campus and they had to play the flute as long as they could until they got $20 in donations.
So I just read this in your show sheet. I think that is genius.
That is really funny. Like, I
Yeah.
think that it's absolutely, because he had no idea how to play the flute. So he was just sitting there. He sounded terrible. And he was given these sheets of music and he was trying to read them. So it was like Mary Had a Little Lamb, was like You Are My Sunshine, like all this like very simple songs.
I love that.
No clue how to
I would
play
be
them.
the person that would drop a 20 and be like, I'm paying you to stop.
Yes. He had to make $20. And I think it took him, whatever, I think it was about like 6 hours, 7 hours he was out there. It was brutal. And he couldn't say anything. You couldn't tell him why he was out there. You just had to. He didn't wear any shirt that said "I fucking fantasy football." He was just there, and he kind of like he was dressed really like he kind of looked homeless. It was. I think they might have done it intentionally.
I hope
really
so.
Funny.
You're not going to
It's
give
like that scene
I
out of
know.
the league when they're embarrassing Andre and like playing all the like the
Yeah.
fiddle or whatever it is. Like
Yeah,
that's
it
right
was.
out of that
It
show.
was really funny. But let's move on here. We're gonna go to actually draft party now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to setting up. That was more league talk, but now let's go to the draft party. We're talking about draft order. There's a lot of fun ways to determine your draft order. How do you guys like to determine draft order? I'll start with Joshua on this one.
So I've done a couple different things. I've never really done them at the actual party themselves. So I had a long running home league that I left like 4 or 5 years ago. The way that we used to do that draft order, it was a combination of two things. One, we did a NCAA March Madness bracket. And, it was basically like however many, matchups, points that you get based on like the whole ESPN scoring, it was like, 1,200 points, 1,100 points, all the way down. Right. And then we would combine that with the Kentucky Derby. And so we would all be given horses. You could buy additional horses for X amount of dollars, to kind of increase your odds of, if like, especially if you did really bad in the March Madness bracket, increase your odds with the horses in the Derby. In our home dynasty league, Ryan and Joe can attest to this. I do something a little different because I know most dynasty leagues simply take the inverse order of standings and that's your draft order. But I do something similar in the sense that I'm trying to sort of like negate the whole tanking idea. So I create somewhat of a lottery system. So basically it takes into account the Daytona 500. So much like with that old idea of, the horses, we get NASCAR drivers. So if you finish with the league's worst record, you get 4 drivers. If you are the bottom 3 other teams that don't make the playoffs, you are given 3 drivers. The playoff teams all get 2 drivers, and the winner only gets 1 driver. Now, the top 4 teams cannot finish worse than 4th. So, like, they're guaranteed a top 4 pick, but NASCAR tells you whether it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th pick, right? After the first 4 picks, everything goes into a pool with the 2nd round. Shut up, Joe.
For those not saying here, Joe's doing some.
I had to just do math on the
Yeah,
wall.
you still never get it right. You always think you have the number 1 pick because you suck, and then you end up with the 3rd pick.
It's a confusing order.
I just trade my first pick away in that league as fast as I can. So I don't have to
There you
worry
go.
about it.
See,
I
but
know
the
where
fun
I'm
part
going
is
when I
that
show up.
basically the winner of the league could end up with the 5th overall pick via the lottery, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole aspect of it is that, I'm trying to encourage trading. I'm trying to encourage, playing to win and not like, hey, I need to reset and get younger. Like, there's moves that you can make year in and year out to create a competitive dynasty team.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I'll jump in with mine here. I just left it pretty blank on the show sheet. I don't know. I made a video about this on Twitter when I did it last year. I don't know if you guys saw it. So what I did something last year that was kind of fun. My league really enjoyed it. I did a white elephant gift exchange for draft order, and it's completely random. So how this works is I just took 12, actually our league's 10, so 10 random items, and like I had a rock, I had a tennis racket, I made a mini bicycle, and I wrapped that, and I just wrapped them all in like these football like gift wrappings, and then inside I put an envelope in each gift. So, and there were 10 gifts in the middle of the table. and we did a white elephant gift exchange where you're trading around gifts not that are wrapped. We're not unwrapping the gifts. So you're trading around random gifts. So you're just guessing if the big box has the number 1 overall pick, or the small box has the number 1 overall pick, or the rock has the number 1 overall pick. We were trading around random items, all wrapped, and at the end, we all unwrap our gifts and determine what draft order everyone gets. Everyone really liked it because everyone was just like, I think the most popular gift, I think it was the rock. The rock got passed around the most. Everyone wanted the rock. It was literally just a rock I picked up from the river, washed, and then wrapped. I didn't even wrap it. I just put a bow on it. Like, it was.
I was
really
wondering because I'm like, how did they know it was a rock?
No. I just put a bow. I put a bow on top of the rock, and that was it. That was the gift. Everyone loved the rock. Everyone was passing it around, and then there was like a box that like I could fit in if I wanted to, like a huge one, and everyone liked that as well. So it was quite fun to do that. You got to get creative with it, get some fun different shapes and sizes for the gifts, but I think people might like that one.
Yeah. For my league, like Josh, it was all about getting rid of tanking. And so we had worked out a bunch of different ideas, and we finally settled on this a couple of years, actually 3 or 4 years ago. So we do a draft lottery along the lines of the NBA, except that you are earning your balls in the lottery instead of losing them when you win games. So based on wins, based on if you had the high score at any point during the season, if I go back and check, if you beat a playoff team, you get an extra point in the lottery. And we use the website 100yardrush.com, where if you guys have kind of followed along with Scott Fishbowl, Scott uses it for a lot of things, but you can just put little 8-pixel running backs against each other running up a field. And before you set up the draft, you're able to give each back 9 points of luck. So from 0 to 9. And so I set this thing up where based on your performance during the season, you're able to earn points of luck. And I have it set where you can basically earn 9 points of luck, like winning the consolation bracket get you a point of luck. I even have it set up where 2 wins in the consolation bracket get you a point of luck. So even if you don't win the whole championship, if you lose round 1 of the consolation bracket, but you win your next 2 matchups and finish in, 5th place or whatever, you earned a point of luck towards the lottery. But then also, if you at any point during the season do not set a lineup, you lose a point of luck. And that is, you can lose all of your luck if you just stop setting your lineup. And so what we did then was we, like Josh, we wanted to protect the really bad teams because it is a 3-keeper league. And so the NHL apparently does this, that they run their lottery 3 times. And so they run the entire lottery, and whoever's, card or ball gets picked the first time gets the first pick. Then that team comes out, they run it a second time, and whoever comes out gets the second pick. Then they run it a third time, and whoever comes out gets the third pick. And then after that, it's reverse standings. So the worst team in the league can't end up with any worse than the 4th pick. So you're really just doing a lottery for the first 3 picks. And it discouraged tanking. It discouraged forgetting to set a lineup, or at some points we'd have people where it made sense to them to lose a matchup, so they would on purpose not set a lineup, and now that hurts them. And so with a league of 14 teams, but only 6 makes the playoffs, by week 10, 2 or 3 teams are eliminated from the playoffs a lot of times. And this at least gives them a reason to continue playing for the last 4 weeks of the season.
That's fun. Yeah, I like your 2 ways of like encouraging people not to tank even if they're out of the playoffs, or because sometimes it just messes up the league. Like, I understand the idea of tanking for a dynasty league because you get the first overall pick, yada, yada. And it's fair. If you want to play that way, that's great, because I totally get it. But it's also a sense of like, it could, lessen the fun in the league for other people that are competing, 100%. And it could mess up the competition. Joe, you want to throw in your draft order special before we get to the next topic?
Yeah, mine's simple. Every person gets a team in the preseason. If the team and then it's best record. It's just best record.
Oh, I like that.
And then obviously the teams are going to have the same record, so it goes by points scored, points against, and then if they all happen to be the same, the last resort tiebreaker is projected week 1 quarterbacks total passing yards. So normally, if you have a crappier team with a young quarterback, you're going to then be higher. But at that point, you're already like pick 10, 11, or 12 by the time you have to choose. But so if you had the Ravens, they went 3-0, and they had the most points scored, you get your first pick of wherever you want to pick in the draft.
Yeah.
I like
Very
that.
simple, topical. People are then, have a reason to pay attention a little bit to the preseason.
Yeah, invest in preseason. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so next topic. This one's a little fun one. We're
Yeah.
talking about snacks and food you gotta have at your draft. Ryan, what about you? What do you got?
You're killing me. You jumped to topic 5. Don't forget you need to go back to topic 4.
Oh.
This guy.
You caught me off guard, Hutch.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Are we doing topic 4?
Let's do topic 5. We'll skip topic 4 and go back to it.
Yes,
So-
you, Ryan.
All right.
Professional podcasting here, guys.
A must for us, and I know we're all from different areas of the United States, is pop. We call it pop in Ohio.
Shut up.
What'd you say, Joe?
It's soda. Next, you're gonna tell me you just call everything Coke.
No. By the way, I lived in Georgia for many years. That is not a thing. Nowhere did that happen.
That
I'm not
is
saying-
totally a thing. Yes.
Hello,
that is a
hello,
thing.
sir. How are you today? What would you like? Oh, I'd like a Coke Sprite. The hell you mean? What do you mean?
No,
What a Coke
not a
Sprite?
thing. Not a thing.
That
At
is
least
a
not,
thing.
not
Yes,
in my
it is.
experience in just on the outskirts of Atlanta, maybe in some podunk parts of Georgia.
Maybe
They
in
still do some
Savannah.
wild stuff like that. My friends were drinkers, so we obviously had to have beer, and I was a-okay with that because we were all of age, and I don't drink beer. So the more inebriated everybody got, the better it was for my draft because people would start to make a lot of mistakes. And I would lean into that. I was never mad. I was always happy to grab people a beer when I had to get up after I had made my pick. I was never upset about that.
Hutch is gonna
Especially-
implement that in his draft next year.
Yes, exactly. Especially in an auction draft because they get so long.
Yeah.
You have more time for people to get a little.
A 14 team
yeah.
14 team draft 15 rounds long gets a little long as well.
Yeah, it does. That's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. People
yeah,
can
we were
people can do some impressive things in 30 minutes with beer.
so live drafts can
How
run
do you know
slow and we're talking
I've seen this happen, man.
like
I
when-
work.
I'm old, and so we've been doing drafts for a long time, and I'm talking before you had the ability to do these on the internet where you could put the picks in right away. So we were doing all the picks on pen and paper, and people had to hand me sheets with what their team was at the end so I could go to Yahoo and actually enter the team that they actually picked because this was how we did the draft. And so these things would take 3 hours, so people could certainly overdrink. And then when it came to food, we were simple Midwest kids, like literally pizza, wings. When we got married, buffalo dip was brought into the fold.
Yeah.
But when we were broke, it was just very, very simple stuff of everybody chipping in as much money as they could afford at the time. But like I said, I'll take the edge anywhere I can get it. And my friends drinking, I was never hesitant to bring them that next drink when they were ready for it.
Man, I've been a part of drafts where the drunker people are, they end up winning the freaking leagues. Like
there's
it
that
just
too.
No
like
reason,
it's just
yeah.
dumb luck half the time. So I mean, I trust me, I've been the guy that's gotten too drunk at a draft. I've also been the guy that just remained sober. Sometimes it's a crapshoot. Like you don't win your leagues at the draft, you win them with all the in-season moves.
Ooh.
I know, but it's funny to watch a drug person pick a really like a kicker.
It's
in the
funny
fifth
to
round.
watch a drunk person do anything, Hutch.
Dude, I banquet serve at a
Except
hotel.
driving. No drinking and driving.
No, not driving. But I banquet serve at a hotel right now, and I work a lot of weddings and stuff, dude. Like that's why I made the comment earlier. People can do some impressive things in 30 minutes when they have alcohol. It's kind of insane the level you get here.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's some good stuff. Anyone have any special things they want to add?
Pizza, soda.
Pizza,
bye.
soda, yeah. I like to bake. I'm a bit of a baker, so I like to bake
That's
something
fine.
special for my people.
love
That
that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
putting together some fun stuff. But otherwise, I mean, it's pizza, it's wings, it's sodas. Like it's perfect. You know.
bar food.
I don't know. I treat it
Yeah.
like poker night. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah, pizza,
Absolutely.
soda. Bye.
Beer, soda, alcohol, whatever.
Yeah, easy. I almost
I like the baking idea though. I think that's awesome.
If you want to bring sweets, I'm not going to say no.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, exactly.
I ain't doing that, but if you want to bring
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
awesome.
I didn't get this body turning brownies down. So,
just brownies, Ryan.
cookies, brownies,
Yeah, I think it's a little more than brownies.
French cannelé, my favorite
All
thing
the
to
things.
make.
Ryan walks into the
Oh
bakery and
my-
just says yes when they
Yeah,
ask.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Wow. All right. It's funny, Ryan. When I was looking towards I was like, oh, topic 6. We got the last one here. No, I gotta go back. We gotta go topic 4. we're talking about location. So where do you like? We've mentioned a little bit about like bars and stuff. Where's your preference for location?
Yeah, I'll jump in here because again, I've been doing this. I mean, me and Josh are roughly the same age. I'm just way older than Josh, but my home league again is approaching 20 years. So we are doing this pre everyone having access to the internet. So Hutch, I love that you like gave us options, and I've literally the evolution of my league were these options. So like we started off in a basement. We've done the garage thing, and I bring up in my notes, or maybe I didn't, but this was a lot easier when we didn't have 14 people who needed access for their laptop and making sure they had strong Wi-Fi and all of that other stuff. Like we literally had our magazines, our pen and paper. I have one friend where he needed to make sure he had his own space. He would not draft with the other like 13 of us. He always sets himself off to the side. And like sometimes in a friend's living room, he would be in the kitchen next to the door so he could still hear the picks, but not actually sitting with us. Like people are weird. You get 14 people together.
Bro. Come on.
But then, you know, when fantasy started becoming more widely accepted, Buffalo Wild Wings started doing where you could have your drafts there and they gave you like $100 of free food. And funny story about that. Again, we were all, 20 something year old kids. We didn't realize the vouchers couldn't be used for alcohol. And so we ended up with a huge bill at the end of the night because it was food only and like just all that kind of wild stuff. I've done, even like more local bars. And what I was going to say about like bars in general is, where they put you and how they treat you really makes or breaks the experience because 100%. Buffalo Wild Wings, at least in my hometown, they had this own little room in the back and we were back there and it was just us. And that kind of mattered.
Awesome. That's great.
It mattered because my league is a bunch of foul-mouthed people. I'm the worst of the bunch. I have been asked to leave more places than I care to mention because of offending people with children. It's just who I am. I do a really good job, or at least I try to during podcasts, but when I'm out and doing fantasy football, it doesn't always work out that well. But I've also done like a local bar where we were just like in the middle and everything was loud and the wait staff was interrupting the draft. Then they would just not bring us our stuff. And it really was a terrible experience. And we've like never went back to that place. And so like knowing what you're getting yourself into, don't just pick a random place and show up with 12 or 14 people if they didn't know you were coming and don't know what you're doing. But if they know what you're doing, and like I said, Buffalo Wild Wings, kudos to them. I think they stopped doing it, but like 2 or 3 years ago, for 2 or 3 years, they like embraced that they wanted to be a part of like the fantasy community. And I thought that was really cool of them.
That is awesome. No, I totally like what you're saying of don't just show up. Especially, the person who's worked as a server at restaurants before, like when you see a party at 12 walk in that did not call beforehand, you immediately hate them.
Sucks.
You immediately hate them. Like they're the worst. You immediately hate them. You immediately don't like them. You immediately do not want to serve them. Like that's just, I hate to say it, but that's just how servers, restaurants feel. Like if you don't call with a big party, like you're just not going to get what you want.
And one last thing I'll throw out there because we've all lived through it. During COVID, we wanted to see each other. We 6 feet apart chairs outside in my backyard and made it where like everybody was nice and comfortable. We could still do the draft live with one another, but like we got to have a little bit of human contact, which for a lot of us, if we remember, that was a little bit of a back in 2020s.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
Words. Sorry.
That's fine. Actually, you can say that on radio airwaves.
I got to write that one down too. I'm just writing notes over here of everyone.
You can say that on radio airwaves without being censored.
It doesn't matter. We're protecting Hutch's censorship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what it is.
What he was thinking, inviting the 3 of us. He's done our show. He knows.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking, man. I have a paper ready here just to write. I have all the times written down right now of curse words I've heard.
I love it.
Sure.
It's hilarious.
I have one that I didn't write down, but I thought of because I work in sports. And a lot of people probably don't know that this is advertised on some teams. Yeah, you can actually draft in a suite at the stadium. So for the 6 Carolina Panthers,
the common person doesn't have the money to rent out the suite.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no.
Again, for the 6 Carolina Panthers fans listening, if you can find 4 more Carolina Panthers, you have to do it on a specific date that they have, but $115 a person, minimum of 10 people, group photo at the stadium, food and beverage, plus 2 beers per person included.
Oh, that's
draft
really
board, in-suite Wi-Fi, all the preseason games, plus you get a game ticket.
I mean, that's not bad.
115.
Not at all.
No-brainer.
That's
great.
easy.
No, If you're a Carolina Panthers fan, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You
I
get to
agree with
draft
that.
in an NFL stadium. So like that's cool. Now, not every team offers that because some teams are lame. But that's a good deal. I know this because a kid I worked with is the person who runs the suite selling of this.
It's really
I'm
cool.
considering
So-
flying my team out to the Carolina Panthers Stadium just to do that because that's worth
probably
it.
cheaper than to go anywhere in Philly. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's something that's
That's
always
awesome.
cool.
I
So if
like
you want to
that.
look
Good.
at like your local team and see if they do that, I would just recommend typing again Carolina Panthers fantasy football draft party, or I think the Ravens do it as well.
Yeah, great call out.
But just look it up. It's normally pretty good. A lot of teams that struggle to get people to their games will do this because it is a group sales incentive that they provide a ticket for the future game, boost their attendance. Sponsors like it.
So to them, they just sold a ticket for $115.
Welcome to the inside of
Yeah.
sports, folks.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
because that suite in that day would have gone unused for that
unused.
day, so
Yeah.
it gives that. Yeah, well, welcome to sports, folks. We can get into the dichotomy.
Yeah.
of that,
I mean, I used to talk to our sales director at my last job at the hotel. Like, dude, it's the summer. Like, rent out this big space. Like, it's 10, 12 people. And she would always fight me on it. She's like, no, they need to put down this to rent the room. I'm like, no, just have them put down like a deposit or something if you're that worried about it that they get back, or be like, hey, you just have to spend, a certain minimum or something on food. But like, just like, you've got this whole big ass room for 83 people that is going unused. Like, why not? Like, I was actually able to, I rented it out once, and the group of 10 guys ended up spending
so much money.
$1,300.
Easy. It's so.
And
yeah.
I'm like, I looked at our sales director and I'm like, this is the potential.
Yeah, that's great.
And she just would not get it. And I'm just like, what are we doing? And they had a blast. They had a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it helped that, they knew, because I talked to them in the past, like they knew that, I run a website, I talk fantasy and all these things. So like, I'm sitting there in the draft room and I'm, shooting it with them and having fun and, just razzing some of their picks or being like, oh yeah, that's a steal. And just that little commentary, like, gets people excited and gets them going. And they love that stuff.
Yeah, I like your hotel idea. I was thinking, I mentioned earlier, I was doing banquet serving at a hotel, and the hotel I work at, it's called Hotel Bethlehem, and it's a historic hotel. It's a little nicer, a little fancier. It'd be very expensive to rent out a room there for a fancy
Are
draft.
you up in Lehigh Valley? Hold on. Are you up in Lehigh Valley?
Lehigh Valley, yeah.
Oh, I was just there. I was just there last week.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. But
I know that.
Did you stay at Hotel Bethlehem?
No, I stayed at the what is it, Hilton Garden Inn.
Oh, okay. You
by
stayed right over there.
by the Allentown Airport because it was 5 minutes from.
Oh, by
the ballpark
AB.
we were at. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I worked for the Bananas, so
I live
playing.
I live like 7 minutes from there. Like,
Great.
my.
Well,
Like, I live right
you could
there.
have told me I would have
Couldn't
got
even
you.
reach out to say hi.
Man.
I was gonna say you could have told Hutch that.
yeah,
I
you
didn't
were
know
in Lehigh
one.
Valley, man.
I just found out the man lives there. I thought he lived around Philly. That's an hour and a half outside of Philly. 2, if I knew that, I could have gotten you party animals and tailgaters tickets. But alas.
Oh, dang. I missed out, man. But anyways, I was mentioning the hotel because like some of those rooms would be like so cool to rent out a fantasy draft for. So
Oh yeah.
I like that idea, Josh. And I just want to throw in real quick. I have a house party for my draft every year. We just draft. I do a circle of or like a half circle of chairs and couches. We gather everything in my living room and we project on the TV.
Yep.
And we have a pretty big TV, so it's nice. We project it out there from one of our computers, and everyone's drafts on their phones. Some of them have their little magazines with them or like draft kits with them. Some of them usually use my rankings. It's really frustrating. It's the worst.
Hilarious.
That's my favorite thing in the world. I
hate
love
it.
that more than anything.
I hate it, dude. I
love
hate it. I mean, I'm asking for it. I do fantasy football. I put out rankings. Like, obviously, people are going to use my rankings. My dad always looked like I've had multiple moments in drafts where my dad has like looked at me and then made a pick, and then I hate him because he stole my guy. Like, it's the worst. But I'm asking for it.
One of my favorite your dad moments was Scott Fishbowl 2 years ago, where my draft was after your dad's draft. So I stood next to him and just gave him advice, and the looks of disgust I was getting from the rest of his league mates at that table, that I was just sitting there helping him the whole draft. Me and your dad had a blast that day. That was a fun
dude.
day.
That was in New York, right? Dude, that was fantastic. I loved that so much because my dad,
That's actually how I first met Faith, was at a fantasy football draft. Like, she was filling in for somebody else, And we sat next to each other, and she'd never really done it before. And I was like, I'll talk you through some of this stuff.
That's awesome.
I was like, it's a competition for me at that point. Like, I can beat myself at that point. So, hey, why not?
I love that.
I just I don't know. Like, it's just that internal challenge. Yes, Joe, I get the joke. Shut up. But that's how that camaraderie works. Like, somebody
100%.
sees value in what you do. Like, I'm all about it.
Yeah,
100%.
No, I like it.
We're too inappropriate for this show. Okay,
We are. We were too inappropriate to do a show with Hutch when he was 14 years old, but that's an Andy problem.
But he's 14 and a half now, so he's grown up.
Exactly.
14, yeah. 19. Come on, bro. Come on.
God, we've been doing shows with Hutch for 5 years.
Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, it was funny. I don't know how I thought of it. I pulled up the first show we did. Oh my gosh, I looked like an idiot, dude. It was so bad.
Hey,
We're
on
so
episode.
funny.
What are we on, Josh? 407. We still.
The
amount of looks I've gone through, Hutch.
Wednesday this week will be
episode
406.
Yeah, so
406, man.
Idiots. So imagine dealing with these. Not both of them, but with Josh for 7 years.
Well, we actually did the math. It's almost split perfectly. You did 200 without me and 200 with me. So
wow, that's incredible.
Thanks for joining the misery. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, but speaking of Club Fantasy FFL, I want you guys real quick before we wrap up the show, just tell us where we can find you guys and your content.
Oh, we don't get the extra perks?
What that said before we wrap up the show. I think we're doing extra perks after this. So
I don't know. I'll do it because I always say it. You can follow.
I was going to say Joe is the Club Fantasy.
Club Fantasy FFL. The URL is clubfantasyffl.com, and then I'll leave out the end tag that we always do.
But also check out womenoffantasyfootball.com. We have our 2025 tournament going on. It's the Gods and Goddesses of Fantasy Football Tournament. We still have 2 more Gods and Goddesses to announce. We're going to start kicking off drafts here in the last week of July. So it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of big names in the industry have agreed to take part in this, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Also, so I just want to totally mention this. So I totally forgot topic 6 again, and I was totally going to go to the end of the show until you mentioned that.
That's why I pushed it. I like my answer.
I missed it again. No, Joe totally got me. I missed it again. I was totally about to go to the end of the show, but I'm just gonna 5
years now. God,
I'm just gonna.
It's hilarious. Hutch, I just want to quickly throw out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
We just recorded an episode together before we came on with you.
Yes.
And got on a fight on air about that show sheet as well. So this has just been the theme for the 3 of us.
I really didn't know I knew what I was doing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm just gonna admit that to you guys, and then just gonna pretend right now. We're gonna pretend I never said that, and we're gonna pretend like I just want to do a mid-show plug for you guys. And now we're going to topic 6, extra perks.
Yeah.
How do you make your draft party special? Well, you talk to location, snacks and food, things like that. What are some extra little details you want to add? Joe, I see you smiling because I know your answer, but do you want to say it? Just go
Sticker
for it.
board, strippers, NFL athletes. Anybody? Anybody get the reference? Anybody?
No, I do not.
Well, Hutch, you were 2 when the show came. So I hope you don't get the reference.
At any point.
I hope you don't get the reference. If you haven't seen the league, buy the streaming service for the month and just binge watch it.
I will say, I want to quickly throw out
necessary. That's an actual that's a legit fact.
That's where I was actually going to co-sign for you, Joe, because we were broke and we were spending our money on beer and pizza, so we never had a sticker board ever. And then Hutch, we have since moved on to the 21st century where we now can just project it on a TV and everything's great. But I want to give my man Joe Zolo all the credit in the world, because during COVID we actually did an online live draft with a sticker board that Joe had gotten from a subscription that his dad had.
CBS Sports, best fantasy football website.
Joe, I've never seen it looked like a sleeper board. Joe had put these stickers on so perfectly for every pick of the draft.
Yeah.
So not only is sticker board important, but the person who puts the stickers, and we're not going to give them their terrible name on today's show, but the person who does those stickers is also very, very important. And the vice versa. I did a live draft at the very first Fantasy Expo, And some of the stickers you got put up there were at 45-degree angles, and people were furious, and it was just terrible. So I want to co-sign with Joe. Even in today's technology, where Hutch and I were saying, you can do it on TV now.
Yeah.
Get a draft board, get a sticker draft board, and your league will have so much fun with it. It is a very, very cool experience. And then I'll just kind of quickly jump in here. Have the trophy present if you guys have a traveling trophy, or if you're going to have a trophy for that year that the person's going to get it early. Have it at the draft so that everybody kind of knows what they're fighting for. And then we always did like a league meeting before the draft to discuss any potential rule changes and just kind of like catch up with everything. Don't just like immediately jump into the draft. Make it more of an event for your league. And this is kind of later on, but we also did a winner meeting where we presented the trophy and paid out. And we did this same thing where we would go to local bars and restaurants and things like that, where we would do these and we'd let them know we were coming ahead of time. But that's the best place to discuss rule changes, because we would do it in week, 18 when the season was over, and everybody remembered what they liked, what they didn't like from the previous year. So make it a full year thing. Don't just do a draft. Make it a whole year and keep your league, even if it's not a dynasty league, keep your league fresh in people's mind. I think that's something that's really good for the league.
Yeah, I love it. Something I want to really throw out there is I think like some people come over and like I think it's really important to hang out for a bit before the draft. Like some people come over and they just go right to drafting, and this isn't necessarily like crazy special or anything, but like maybe put some yard games out in your yard if you're hosting your house, or like set up some games. Like just catch up for a bit. This is not only a fantasy league and a competition, but they're like most likely your buddies, your friends, your people. Like catch up with them, especially some of them you might have not seen in a while. Catch up, hang out. Enjoy time a little bit with people, and then get in the draft. I feel like going straight 100%. To the draft is just not like, it just feels too quick. You got to catch up a little bit. So I think that's important to do for a draft party.
Boxing ring, fist fights, then go to the draft.
For draft.
Great idea. Great idea.
We had a punting competition one time. That was fun.
Dude, that's a great way to determine draft.
No, it's not. I suck at putting. That's not a great way.
Please tell me you watermelon punting.
I got middle of the draft.
Please tell me you held it this way. Please tell me you held it horizontally.
I got middle of the draft, so like I was fine. That's my favorite spot to draft from, because nobody likes that spot for some reason. I love middle of the draft, so it was fine. I think I was the 5th guy to make it in, but I was playing with some I play with guys that play a lot.
He's saying putting, like golf, not punting.
Putting competition.
Oh, putting. I thought you said
so like
punting.
I played with people that like I know are just better putters than me. I'm better in every other aspect of golf than they are, but they're a little better at putting than I am. So that made me angry, but still made my spot in the draft.
There was a TikTok trend. A buddy of mine just sent this. Interestingly enough, it would have been
buddies on TikTok.
One of mine is punt, pass, and kick competition before the draft to determine draft order. So,
I like that. Yeah.
Ryan, you'd finish last.
Well, I said this would have been super interesting. First of all, I'm a better athlete than you're giving me credit for, Joe. Second of all,
I'm just saying your hip would give out.
No, it's the knees.
It's the knees. Yeah, let's be clear. The punting and the kicking would not be happening. But regardless, I said this would have been really interesting 20 years ago. Right now, we'd be putting up the most abysmal numbers of our entire lives. So
yeah,
it's possible to get negative yardage.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I imagine it would be if you kicked it bad enough.
I was going to say, ask Charlie Brown. He'll either whiff or kick it backwards. So,
Hey, that's on his holder. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, there are some really cool ideas out there, but I love that, Hutch. Just do something before the draft. Don't just make it the draft, and then
yeah. We usually do our for the what Elfin Gift Exchange mentioned earlier, or any way we do draft, where I like to change it up every year, have fun. We always do that at the draft party. Like we go in, eat a little bit, hang out, then do the draft order, then hang out for a little bit more while people strategize, and then we do the draft. Like it's doing it live at the draft is so fun, because you get the panic of like, I have the 7th pick. I don't know what to do. What the heck am I going to do? And it's like everyone just like, it's panic. When you come in knowing your pick, it's like everyone's calm and it's like they know what they're going to do. I like the chaos of like, I just got my pick. I have to figure out my entire strategy right now, or figure out what I'm going to do right now. I hate
those people. I despise those people.
What people?
You should make your pick within 20 seconds. That should not take.
I agree.
It should not take you any longer than you should. Like it's chess. What just happened before? Here's the 7 outcomes that I have right here that's going to happen. You should know your pick. The people, if your draft clock I know this isn't home. If your draft clock online is more than a minute, No, it should not be. The people that take the 2 full minutes to make the pick, and it ends up being freaking trying to think, Gabe Davis in the 7th round. Why? Just auto draft at that point. Who are you? You should at least know. I'll give you 30 seconds. Okay, 30. Do not take the full draft clock to make your pick, please. There's 5 guys you can choose.
Sometimes you gotta think through it, Joe. Like actually think for a little bit,
you should have been thinking through it before.
Think before you do. Don't do before you
Did
think.
you never
bro.
do speed math growing up in school? You couldn't. You had to think. It was go. Speed math. All right. They took the competition out of schools. These kids are weak now. These kids are weak.
Dude, I did those. I remember those in 3rd grade.
They didn't grow up
we
like
were
I
doing
did.
the times table. We were doing
say.
the times tables once, man.
Yeah, they
did
didn't
it in
grow
I feel
up
like
third
that's
grade.
something Ryan and I should be saying, Joe. You're like 25, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
come on, man. Like,
I'm gonna be
Joe's
27.
like kids these days, bro. He's not even 30. Come
Joe's
on.
just
I'm
reveling.
27.
Joe.
Joe's just reveling on not being the youngest person on the show for once.
I'm gonna be 27. I was graduating high school. Hutch was in 4th grade. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's about right.
8 years apart. So that's what I'm saying. They kids, they don't know nowadays. My brother's only 5 years younger than me.
Years ago.
He didn't grow up in the trenches in 3rd grade like I did. What do you mean?
The trenches.
He wasn't doing speed math.
Come on.
He wasn't pulling 8 times 4 out of his behind at 8 years old and absolutely smoking the competition in his classroom. He wasn't doing that.
You never
Right?
know.
He was a C student.
He'll never know. Growing up on those streets.
He'll never
like
understand.
Streets like
Did
Joe,
you
bro.
did you
guys
dissect
Shout
know
out
an
now.
owl
Johnny, who's getting
pellet?
roasted on a podcast. He's probably
Did
not
you
even
dissect
listening.
an owl pellet at 8 years old? No, you didn't, because you weren't built different like my classroom was. All right? You were sitting there playing with silly putty.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I found out my dad's high school social studies teacher would smoke in class and give him money to go down to the dog track to place bets. What?
That generation was built different.
And
Yo.
he would get a cut of the winnings if the dog won.
Wow.
Amazing.
What is this
What?
show got? What have we done?
Shout out New Hampshire for that one.
That was Massachusetts.
Oh
Like, bro, my
God.
dad's like, yeah, my social studies teacher would give us money to put, place at the dog tracks. At what time? 10 a.m. on a Tuesday? What
That's
do you
amazing.
mean? You're not in class? Anyways,
That's amazing.
built different. Speed math.
Keep in mind,
Hadn't
this all
thought about
started
that in a
about
while.
not using your entire draft clock.
Yeah, that's how this started. That's how this started. Joe, how do you? Hold on, I have a question though to build off that. How do you feel about like the 8-hour clocks? What do you feel about that?
Slow drafting.
Slow drafting.
So if that is the precedent set forth, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't like that in redraft. That's stupid. All of you can find an hour out of your day on a weekend to do. My friends are like, oh, Labor Day's busy. I'm like, what are you doing at 8 p.m. on September 1st? What are you doing? You're not doing anything. Take the hour. You're fine. You could do it on your phone now. Do it while you're driving. Okay. Get the notification.
Right. Text and drive.
No.
Ding. You're gonna
Not
stop at a
promote
red
texting
light at
driving
some
here.
point. Ding. Boom. There you go. No, slow draft is fine in dynasty rookie drafts. That's
Yes.
fine because that's
Okay.
a hard time to get everybody together.
Well-
That one I'm fine with.
Okay.
Not in redraft. Please, just an hour. That's all you need. I've done a 24-round draft in 55 minutes. No excuses. Zero excuses.
5 minutes. That's impressive.
Yeah,
I like.
with
I
IDP.
like the longer clocks though, because I like watching my league mates tilt. I like watching them tilt.
No. Tilt on the 1 minute clock when they auto draft.
2 minutes. I like 2
That's-
minutes. I like watching them tilt for 2 minutes. Because it gives them, because I always I'm a drafter, like I like to have a nice queue, big queue built, like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Usually within, like I'm like you, Joe, usually within 30 seconds I've made my pick.
Yep.
That's usually what it is.
My
That's
average
amazing.
Unless I've made a
time-
terrible mistake. But
My-
I like watching everybody else tilt and
Since
go
EBS
crazy.
gives you your average pick time. Mine was 7 seconds last year.
Oh, Ryan's got you beat. His in SFB is like less than 1 second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not waiting.
What?
When I drafted when MFL, I had the queue mastered on MFL. So for 6 consecutive years, I never made an actual pick in Scott Fishbowl.
Wow.
I had the queue perfected every single time.
It's just that's how it should be.
No,
have a guy.
I like no. You make the decision yourself. You make the decision.
did.
You think.
He did.
Well, yes.
He put him in his queue.
Well,
That's
yes, but
exactly-
live when you're on the clock, watching the clock go down, making a choice. I think that is
Yeah,
so
that was the one heartbreaking part of moving to Sleeper was giving that streak up. Because
There are still divisions that do MFL, Ryan.
Oh, I know. Oh, I do the live drafts. I'm a sucker for live drafts. That was the one
live
thing.
drafts are so fun. The live drafts are the best.
Hutch, we didn't really get a chance. We probably should have started with this, but I would just tell everybody, try a live draft. And if you are in town where Scott Fishbowl Live is, sign up. Do not be afraid. Scott Fishbowl Live New York is one of my favorite events in fantasy football at this point. There will be 60 people at this event on Saturday. And it's usually a pretty even mix of analysts and fans, and they bring their family, and everybody just kind of loves football and loves charity and loves fantasy. And it's just a very, very cool event. And we're in the heart of New York City, which just makes it even better. But anywhere you can, and then try to do it with your friends. There is no experience like it. Hearing your friends scream when you make a pick, whether it's good or bad, and like it changes the environment.
I agree.
It's so fun.
Live in person, fine. You don't need the clock. If you're online and you use a 2-minute clock and you take the whole time, I would rather take an uppercut from Tyson.
So we were
Fury.
moving on from that. I was trying to end this show on positivity.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I know that, but I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. Don't do the online clock. In person, I agree, because you can crap talk them.
Taunt. Yeah, taunt.
Yeah, but I mean,
like,
Faith and Josh flew up for New York City last year, so I got to do a live draft with people I've dealt with online. Now, obviously, I've met Faith and Josh multiple times. Believe it or not,
I love
Joe and I have done.
Online.
Yeah, Joe and I have done 200 episodes together and still have never met in person through various reasons, where he's busy or I'm busy. Or
are you for real?
Yes. So
we've never met in person.
The closest we came was I was invited to Joe's wedding, which I would have loved to have attended, but my wife lost her job and I had health issues that exact same week. So Joe and I have, exactly. So we have.
I
literally,
can't walk. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I literally can put weight on my leg. But Joe is never available to do anything during the summer because he works baseball. And then
I'm back in baseball.
Yep. And I was not able to ever make it, or wasn't able to make it to his wedding. So Joe and I have never had the fortune of meeting one another in person.
Hey, forget about the summer. My job's year round now at this point.
Exactly. I'm never going to meet Joe. Well, actually, I'm going to. Marlia is going to kill me if we don't get to a Bananas game at some point. So I will meet you at that point.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. Any fun extra perks y'all want to add for?
I say we should let Josh get us out of here. We haven't let Josh talk.
Oh no,
half an hour at this point.
It's just been hilarious. So
if Josh doesn't talk, it's a good show.
Oh, come on.
That's how we know.
400 episodes, folks.
That's how
what I've dealt
with.
This is what I've dealt with.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You brought me on, so
I did. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Hutch Coming in Clutch. Joe, Joshua, Ryan, want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out the No Pun Intended podcast, and make sure you check out everything that these guys do with Club Fantasy FFL.
Please, we're never getting invited back to this, so
you guys probably will at some point. I promise.
You gotta go. You gotta go over there to see us.
I mean, this is not the first time we've been on Hutch's
show. This is not the first time you've been on my show.
But it's been a while, is what I'm saying.
It has been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. It's true.
The wound takes time to heal.
Exactly. It's going to be another 3 years before we're
I got two new ones here, 1447 and 3818. Two things I have to
I think 4311 you missed. I think
40, I missed 4311.
Yeah, it was
I'll write that down.
I'm telling you, every infraction is 1 year off.
That was the one. That was the one you caught, Joe. And I happened to look at the time.
See you at 24, Hutch. Bye.
24.
You're 19, right? We got with 5-year ban.
5-year ban.
Yeah,
the 5-year ban. Yeah, that's it.
It's like Josh Gordon smoking weed every year. Just add more, tack on more and more games.
There you go. 103.33.
Yeah, there we go.
That's just factual history. Like, why we're gonna ban that? That's just factual history.
Wow. There we go. Perfect. All right.
Oh,
so much editing to do. Oh no.
You need to do it, by the way. It's a choice.
I'm gonna choose to do it. Yes, I'm gonna choose.
All right, good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
Good for me. Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, actually, before we wrap up the show, before we get out of here, we want to shout out. Somebody. I know Ryan. Josh, you're bringing up this really hardcore. I want you guys go for it.
That's Josh. Go for it.
Yeah, go check out Dr. Kevin Murray's new book. It's all about basically what we've talked about on this show. It's creating a fun home league, a fun environment. The book is called The Commissioner's Playbook. Like as mentioned, it's written by Dr. Kevin Murray. Hutch and Ryan both work with him at Football Guys. I know both of us, or all three of us outside of Joe, have had a chance to meet Kevin, and he's a genuinely great guy. Like,
He's awesome.
Absolutely fantastic. He's hosted a lot of really cool events. He's actually won Commissioner of the Year award in fantasy football. Like, he's just such a super cool dude. And for the first week of the launch, if you buy the Kindle edition, he's giving it away for 99 cents. So go check that out over on Amazon. It's a super cool project that he's been working on for the last year, and 100% absolutely support it.
Love it. Love it. All right, everybody, make sure you check out that book and make sure you subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening so you'll be notified every single time a new episode does drop. Follow me on Twitter at HutchisonB_FF. Follow me on Blue Sky at HutchisonB_FF. And make sure you check out Joe, Ryan, and Joshua, Club Fantasy FFL, No Punt Intended podcast, Women of Fantasy Football, everything that they do. You can find them on Twitter, on social media as well. And that's going to be all for this week. Thank you all again so much for tuning into a longer episode of Hutch Coming to Clutch. It's funny, usually my episodes are like 20 minutes, and the last two have been like 50 and then an hour and a half, like an hour.
I
plus.
saw on your additional note says goal show length is anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes. And I said,
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I was like, after we got to like
the moment I saw the show sheet, I said, "There's no way we're."
Oh, yeah, I knew.
And I'm like, now you're adding 3 guests. Yeah, times that.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way it's gonna happen, but like. You just, whatever.
Good to have goals.
Yeah, good to have goals, unrealistic ones, right? And next week, guys, we're really gonna start a big series, just diving into every single NFL team. Like the next handful of weeks, it's fantasy football season. Preseason's coming up. Training camp's already here. Like football season's on, and I'm gonna be diving into every single NFL team, previewing their fantasy football outlooks for the year. And next week, I don't know exactly which teams we're gonna start with, but we'll figure out when we get there next week. So we'll see you all then.